Gearing up for our second Rumble Jack qualifier, and I'm a little nervous. Matter of fact, I'm a lot nervous. So far tonight are 1 for 1. Big victory earlier tonight, of course, for well, we go ahead and say it. He's right there. No, he stares at you like we did something to him. I was literally trying to say he was the winner of the match, that being Nick Halen. Can the endgame go 2 for 2 here? The Ctkeys looking to qualify to enter Rumble Jack in August.
Yeah, can he keep the momentum going for the end game as he takes on someone we haven't seen in quite some time here, GB?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the return of this superstar. Well, it's been quite some time since we've seen Fry Daddy don the doors here at Southern Honor Wrestling. In fact, it was so long ago. It was at SHW 15.
Which happened to be what, GB?
That was the night that myself and Diana debuted, the night that V3 was formed.
That's right.
A historic night in the history and annals of this company.
December of 2019. So it's been a hot minute since we've seen Fry Daddy don the doors of the Action Building.
It certainly has, and he has been all over the wrestling world in that time. He's made an appearance in the WWE, an appearance in AEW. He's been all over the place. And so the question now is, can he curtail that and take that into an opportunity inside of the Rumble Jack to head for the SHW Championship?
Fry Daddy getting some love from the great crowd here in the Action Building. He is known all over Georgia, all over the Southeast. But it's rare that we get to see him here in the Action Building. But tonight, SHW 63. And as we said before, it's Rumble Jack season. So again, another Rumble Jack qualifier.
Certainly. And again, remember, the winner of the Rumble Jack gets an automatic shot at the SHW Championship. Of course, that championship at the moment is being held by Judas of the Endgame. That, of course, could all be different by the end of tonight. But right now, it seems like the plan for Todd Sexton and the rest of the Endgame is to get as many members of the Endgame inside of the Rumble Jack.
You got to think Ctkeys probably not in a good mood. Of course, I don't know when he's ever been in a good mood, but of course, he's coming off of a singles loss to Gunnar Miller, and then, of course, the War Chamber loss last month.
Right.
Look at Nick Halen on the outside, distracting Fry Daddy.
You know, you talk about the numbers game. During Nick Halen's match, you only had to deal with Todd Sexton. Now Fry Daddy has to deal with Ctkeys, who is enough in and of himself. But then on top of that, the distraction of the other two members of the Endgame on the outside.
Now collar and elbow lockup. Ctkeys showing his strength. And we just saw in the tag title match earlier how the numbers games comes into effect. It can affect a matchup.
It absolutely does. And of course, the end game lives for the numbers game. They live for any kind of advantage that they would get. Now, it's not enough that Ctkeys already has the size advantage, and you could argue maybe even the aggressiveness advantage. But no, that's not enough. And now,
the referee stopping Fry Daddy as he was backed up Ctkeys in the corner, got a pie face, but then he just hit a massive chop there on CT.
Yeah, Fry Daddy is not here for foolishness.
Oh, mercy.
And I don't blame him. This is a special year for Fry Daddy. It is year number 12 in the wrestling business, and he certainly would like to make an awful lot of that by finally getting an opportunity at the SHW Championship.
We talked about it on the podcast last week as we previewed the big card for tonight. Fried Daddy is not a pushover.
Not by no stretch of the imagination.
Some of these fans might not know who Fried Daddy is, but trust us, folks, he's been around a long time, and Ctkeys has as well, so he knows very well that Fried Daddy's nobody to sneeze at here.
Absolutely. Fried Daddy has won championships.
Oh, look out.
Whoa, in multiple promotions, including being a 3-time heavyweight champion over at WrestleMerica. Fried Daddy is definitely that guy. I mean, think about it. If promotions...
We're going to tip here. Hang on.
Count of one.
Quick 2 count.
Being the top of multiple promotions is certainly a big deal, and that's why you make your way over to Southern Honor. That's why you do that, because now you want to sit on top of the top indie promotion in this country.
Absolutely. And everybody knows the shot at the Rumble Jack will get you that opportunity.
Whoa.
So when it's Rumble Jack season, man, face first into the top turnbuckle with Fried Daddy. But when it's Rumble Jack season, you never know who might show up.
That's just it. And you want to have your name among those greats. To be able to... Oh, boy.
You know, we talked about this on the pre-show a little earlier, GB. You talked about a few months ago the viral moment that was for Ctkeys.
Yeah.
Could we be seeing part 2 of that right now?
You know, Ctkeys, we call him the muscle, of course, of the end game, but he's also often unhinged, and that's what makes him so dangerous. He could snap at a moment's notice, and whoever is across from him, well, they're just in trouble. Ctkeys doesn't really care about the rules. In fact, I think he's one of those guys that gets into the sport of pro wrestling because it is the one place where you can have legalized violence. Oh, God.
Massive lariat. Really taking the head off of Fried Daddy. Pin attempt here with that forearm right across the face, but a 2 count. Fried Daddy able to fire up that left shoulder.
You know, let's ask this question. You know, we've looked at what it would mean for Fried Daddy to actually make it into the Rumble Jack, but what would it mean for Ctkeys to make his way into the Rumble Jack?
You know, we talked about that earlier in the matchup, the qualifier matchup between Nick Halen and Kevin Ryan. What an uppercut there from CT. But you got to think if the end game is still on the same page after the War Chamber, which so far tonight it appears that they are, you would think that either Nick Halen or Ctkeys would do everything they can to win the Rumble Jack and then protect the title should Judas still hold it come August.
Well, that's the big question. You got to imagine if they're doing this much work to ensure that all of the end game gets into the Rumble Jack, you got to imagine the work that they could do perhaps later tonight to ensure that Judas keeps the SHW Championship in our main event.
We've already said it here tonight, folks. It's all about that numbers game. It was that numbers game in the tag title match. It's going to be the numbers game perhaps in the main event with the end game against Gunnar Miller.
Certainly will. And I think this battle with Ctkeys is having to pull something out of Fried Daddy. Oh, God.
As soon as you say that, Ctkeys with that scoop slam, and he does it with such aggression, such force. And another one there for Fried Daddy.
And another one. This is what I'm saying, that organized, authorized violence.
Another pin attempt here to go to the Rumble Jack. Just a 2 count.
He looks great. There's no denying that.
We can't argue with you.
There's no denying that.
All right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate it.
The whole world needs to hear that. Of course they did.
All right, now Ctkeys in full control here. Looking for a back suplex, but no. Fried Daddy lands on his feet and hits a clothesline out of the corner. And another one there from Fried Daddy. Fried Daddy trying to fire back up here.
You know, and as I often say, Fried Daddy at this point does not need to dominate this match. He just needs to give you 3 seconds better.
Sling blade from Fried Daddy after that knee buster. He hit that knee to the face and then the sling blade, and now Ctkeys in trouble. Woo! Springboard elbow off the middle rope.
Is that going to be enough? Could it be enough?
Oh!
Out of 2.
We saw an upset here.
Certainly did.
And would it really be an upset? That's what I don't know if the fans really realize.
Right.
Because, yeah, Fried Daddy not a newbie by any means.
Not at all. A 3-time champion over at WrestleMerica. And, whoa, went for a cut of it. Oh, but he got caught.
Had to go to sleep here, perhaps.
He got caught.
You see how CT's got his legs wrapped around the waist. He's got that choke locked in, full force.
Literally squeezing the energy and life.
Look at Sexton pulling that bottom rope away out of the view of the referee.
And now you got to wonder, what will Fried Daddy... Look at this.
Fried
Daddy, whoa!
He turned it into a pin attempt.
Smart move for Fried Daddy.
Better like move.
No.
Big Uranagi classic Ctkeys.
And that could do it.
That might do it. He's put plenty of opponents away with that move right there, but no! Fried Daddy says not yet.
Fried Daddy said, no, I'm not going out into the night like this. Fried Daddy has traveled all over the wrestling world and would love to be amongst the 30 competitors set for this year's Rumble Jack.
Tilt the world there. Oh, into a DDT for Fried Daddy. What a counter.
Innovative counter there for Fried Daddy. And now could be the opportunity. Now could be that moment if Fried Daddy can capitalize, punch his ticket to the Rumble Jack.
And I think Ctkeys is slowly realizing that Fried Daddy is nobody to play around with here.
Absolutely, but it makes you wonder, what are the reserves that Ctkeys will move into when he understands that?
Back elbow from Keys out of the corner. And look at this.
Oh!
Sit down powerbomb for Fried Daddy to go to the Rumble Jack. Oh, man.
Whoa. The entire end game got incredibly nervous at that moment.
Fried Daddy almost punched his ticket to the biggest show of the year, the Rumble Jack in August.
Fried Daddy is now thinking, and he had to have a game plan coming into this because he knew, you're not going to out-muscle Ctkeys. Your best bet is to possibly endure. Oh, boy.
What a knee lift there from Ctkeys. And
oh, gosh. Ushigoroshi.
Good night.
And that's...
Oh! Wait a second. No, just a 2 count.
He said he got out. We heard a bell, but the referee said he got his shoulder up.
I think our bell ringer was a little trigger happy there.
Well, that was kind of wild.
But... Oh, look at this.
Wow.
Our official, Jeremy Prater, ejecting the other members of the end game from ringside.
The referee's hand hit 3, but the referee again decided no, the shoulder came up, and the referee has the right to make that decision.
Now Fried Daddy looking for a cutter, but he missed.
Oh!
Call it, GB.
That is the pounce!
3 period, that's it. Ctkeys goes to the Rumble Jack. That didn't sound like Diana.
That didn't sound like Diana at all.
Todd Sexton has stolen the microphone.
Oh, boy.
From Diana Michelle.
Oh, boy. And so there's part 2. Part 2 of the end game's plan.
By the way, what's he still doing out here? He just got ejected from ringside.
It's a great question. A great question.
And now Todd Sexton with the microphone. And unfortunately, we're going to have to hear what he has to say.
Oh, boy.
And the crowd reminding him of what happened last month in the War Chamber.
Yeah.
Todd Sexton did indeed tap out.
He won the War Chamber. Let me ask you this. Did they really win?
You tapped out. They did.
Because you know who I haven't seen in a while? Chip Day. And that's because of us. Particularly, it's because of Ctkeys. You're Southern Honor heavyweight champion and the man with the longest reign in the history of this company. Am I right or am I wrong?
You are correct. 392 days. You are absolutely correct.
I hate it when he's right.
He's right.
Unlike
You're right.
idiots
You're right.
who suffer a loss and start taking pills, collecting unemployment, or start sleeping around, we take a loss and we learn from it. And tonight, Ctkeys finally puts an exclamation point on this feud with Gunnar Miller. And as you see tonight, my men can do things on their own. They don't need my help. So tonight, I will stay in the back while Ctkeys puts an end to Gunnar Miller for good.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, and by the way, Nick and CT are in the Rumble Jack.
Yes, they are. Yes,
That doesn't mean they're looking for Ctkeys' title. We can get the Legends Championship, the Tag Team Championship. So pretty soon, the end game plays the long game, and we'll have it all.
Wow.
So, was that true? We're going to have to talk to management about that. We always thought it was for the Southern Honor title if you win the Rumble Jack.
Right.
But according to Sexton, you could also get the JTS opportunity.
Or the tag title.
Or the tag title opportunity. I don't know about that. He also mentioned Chip Day, who on the pre-show we discussed. Where is Chip Day? We haven't heard from him.
That's a great question.
Southern Honor show, I made my